Hey everybody, it's Jamie. And in today's video, I really want to talk to you guys. If you guys have been following me on my channel for at least the past year, you guys would have known I have applied to be an RA twice already. And so RA applications rolled around again, and so this will be my third time. And it'll be my last possible time to become an RA. So I wanted to share with you guys kind of the application questions that I was asked and kind of what I said about myself in words, because I find talking to you guys and just spitting out what I'm really saying is a little bit easier than writing it in an application. So let's get started. Question number 1. What is your motivation for applying for the position, and how does the position contribute to your life and or career goals? Well, my motivation for applying to be an RA was I had amazing experiences freshman and sophomore year with my RAs, Jay and Jonathan, and it just, freshman year I thought it'd be so cool to be an RA. It's kind of like being like cabin leader at camp and to help freshmen or upperclassmen and just like be there for them. I don't know, I just find it like a really cool position to be in. It applies to be able to inform people about housing and what we do in housing and like how much fun it is and like what is out there for them to enjoy here at CI. And that kind of plays into my life goals because, as you guys probably know, I have 2 YouTube videos that are dorm tours for CI and an FAQ CI question video thing. And it was so much fun to make. It's so much fun to tell you guys about my school and how much I love it and how amazing it is and how I think you should come here. Which, side note, I know my friend Brianna just got into CI, so congratulations Brianna, and I really hope you choose CI because then you'll be a freshman and I'll be a senior and maybe I could be your RA. That would be really cool. But yeah, so CI has not only helped me in higher education, but they've helped me with my YouTube channel and getting views and getting subscribers, and I think it would just be really fun to continue that from a newer perspective, from someone working on the inside and working with people like the professional hired staff for housing and on-campus living, because no one really knows about it, like on-campus living, and they don't really see much. So yeah, career-wise, just the work experience, a whole 2 semesters plus a little more of work experience, that's a lot. And that would just be like the ultimate work experience, because it's like having a job, a steady job for a whole, like almost a whole year. So that would be amazing on my career applications. And then also it would continue, I feel, to feed my photography interest by photography and art interest actually, by being able to design event posters or have events around art programs and projects and things like that, and just really get me out there as an artist and as a person, just start branding myself with this YouTube channel and around campus and things like that. So career-wise, I think it would be great. Life goal-wise, I think it would be amazing. Question number 2. What strengths will you bring to the position, and what do you believe your limitations will be? Well, I think 2 of my, well, I shouldn't put a number. My biggest strengths, I think, would have to be my organization skills, my time management skills, and also my artistic skills. Organization, I've always been organized. I keep my, like, I hate when my room's a mess, like it is right now. I'm looking at the mess, and I hate it. So I'm always a very clean, know where everything is. If it's not there, then it's over there kind of person. And then that kind of runs into my time management skills. I've always been good at getting to places early, getting to places on time, never being late, never being tardy, never not missing, never missing anything. I'm very like, I'm one of those students that even if I know the class I'm going to today is going to be absolutely pointless or already know what's going on or whatever, I will still show up to that class. Like, I just have that thing like, I'm gonna miss something super monumental and it's gonna backfire on me forever. And then I keep a planner and I use my phone like crazy. Both, I don't think I can live without. I keep times, plans, dates, everything in a planner or phone calendar of some kind, and it's just like that. And then also my artistic skills. I feel like at CI our art majors sometimes are really underrated, and there's not that many of us. We're not the biggest program like nursing or psychology, so I feel like you could always use an art major because sometimes we tend to look at things very differently, or a more creative spirit instead of like a psychoanalytic spirit, just things like that. I feel like it would just really bring something fresh and new. And then also I could always help with designs of posters, like flyers for events, or even designs for housing. Like, I just feel like photography and general art skills can always be applied everywhere. Question number 3. Please describe your leadership style. How do you lead others? Please use past examples to highlight your approach. This question is always kind of hard for me because I feel like I'm a very open leader. I'm not like, I'm in command, so you have to do this and this, and like, I'm not like, nah. But I think for my leadership style, I love collaboration with my team. It's not necessarily that I'm the boss and you're gonna do what I say. It's, okay, if anything goes wrong, it's gonna fall on my head, but do you guys want to do this or do that, or what do you guys want to do? Is it better if we do it this way or that way? And I feel like collaboration like that really leads to good things. Like when Rosie and I were in Pod Squad and we were doing the key check thing, and we were doing it where one person would check keys and one person was holding and keeping track of the keys, and we realized that was really slow, and so we sat and brainstormed for a second, and we're like, well, and Rosie was like, well, what if you take this side of the room and I'll take that one? And I said, you know what, that is great, so let's go. So I always feel like leadership should be more of a collaboration process most of the time, rather than just strict, I'm the leader and you're gonna do what I say. And I've also been like that, I guess, kind of every time I've ever been in charge of a group. Like in outdoor science school, when I was in charge of 10 kids with my friend Danielle, where I was like, okay, well, do you want to do this, or does this work better for you? Like, collaboration and communication are like my big things with leadership. Communication definitely is huge. If you can't find a way to communicate with me and that I can reach you, we're not gonna work. I need your cell phone number or your email or your Facebook, if you answer your Facebook, or you answer Twitter, or you answer Instagram. Like, I could care less what mode of communication it is, but if I can reach you anytime I need you, then we're good. And then we also need a backup of that, because I've had group projects and things like that where they're like, oh yeah, you can email me on my school email, and I email them and they're like, oh sorry, I don't check this email that often, and I'm thinking, why did you give that email to me if you don't check it that often? This is a project, we need to get done, and blah, blah, blah. And then I also feel like taking into what works for everybody is also a big part of leadership. Like, you can't just say, oh yeah, I don't have school Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so we'll have to meet then. Like, people do things on the weekends, and maybe somebody has class Friday. So it'd be like, well, I like it when we swap school and work schedules, because then I'm like, okay, well, we're all free for half an hour on campus, so we can at least squeeze in 15 minutes and still have time to get to each of our classes. I like doing things like that, because then it, like, when you share your schedules, it doesn't, less chance of like clashing or, you know, half the group not being there. And that's the other thing. If it works for 3/4 of the group that I'm in, then that's what's gonna have to go. If it doesn't, then we'll have to figure something else out. And then question number 4, aside from hosting related events, how will you as an RA promote diversity and inclusion in the villages? This one I also found really hard because I feel like housing events are like a really good way to get to know your people in housing and your neighbors and things like that. But I think one of the biggest things I would really like emphasize on is joining a club. It doesn't matter what club it is. It could be our anime club, it could be our art club, it could be Rotaract club, anything you want. Sailing. What else do we have? You could join an intramural sport like dodgeball, or I think we're gonna have softball and baseball this year and stuff like that. Joining a club, I feel, is the most important thing. I joined art club, I think it was first semester freshman year. I think we were maybe like 1 or 2 weeks into school, and I was rooming with Magali at the time, and I go, Magali, let's go to the art club meeting, and she really didn't want to go, but I told her, please, let's go. And so I dragged her butt to the library for an art club meeting, and we actually ended up meeting Christine in the elevator. And we were like, oh yeah, you're going to the art club meeting? And she's like, yeah. And then we were talking about, and then she was like, oh, what are you guys' majors? Like, I'm an art major, but you know, I love doing crafts and stuff. And she was like, oh yeah, I think she was a pre-nursing major at the time. And she's like, yeah, I like doing crafts and dabbling in the arts and stuff. And so at this art club meeting, we connected. Christine and I realized we were like almost the same person that we love. We loved Harry Potter and superheroes and art and Lord of the Rings and all of these things. And I think later that semester, the first Hobbit movie came out, and she was like, do you want to go see it at midnight? And I was like, yeah, I want to go see it at midnight. So we like formed that connection. And then of course Magali's kind of like the odd one out because she didn't like Harry Potter or any of that, but we, the 3 of us, still formed a really strong bond, and we're still friends 3 years later. And then other clubs that and then also through art club, I've met other art majors, I've seen other people, and I'm just like, oh yeah, these people are really cool. And you know, when you join a club, you know you have at least one thing in common with everybody in that room, and that is what you're at the club for. So that I would really, because that makes you feel included on campus, and it's also diversity because you don't have to be a certain major. You can just be interested in art, be interested in sailing, and you can meet a biology major or a psych major or business major, like meet anybody. And then I would also encourage, like, if my residents were like, well, I'm not gonna know anybody there, then I would totally like be down to go with you. Like, if you're watching this and you're gonna be at CI and I'm not your residence assistant, and you were like, man, she's really cool and I don't have anybody to go with, I wonder if she'll go with me, I will go with you to at least one meeting of whatever club you want. Even if I'm not that interested in it, I want you guys to get out there and meet people and just have a good time. That's what college is for. And then I don't know if this would really like inclusion necessarily for the residents, but I would love to take CI Housing YouTube channel and really amp it up. Start doing interviews with people and like just get CI out there. I think as of right now, CI doesn't really realize like how much of an amazing resource YouTube is for people nowadays. Like, thousands of people have watched my videos on just housing. Just really, like, I don't even want to think about the Santa Cruz one because that one was cringeworthy. But like, they're just room tours. There's nothing special about them besides the fact that I was living in housing, but like, it's such an untapped resource for CI. I would really love to like amp that up, and I would love for residents to like come and be like, oh, you should, you know, like suggestions, or they want to film one, or they want to make one. Like, I would love to make it like a housing wide thing where people make YouTube videos and edit them and then send them to me and then be like, yeah, we're gonna feature you on CI housing page. So I think that would be really cool. And that was pretty much it for the essay questions for to be an RA. I would really like to be an RA this year. And I'm not doing it because I get paid or the free housing. That's just an added bonus that I'm like, yes. But it seemed like such a cool opportunity. And again, freshman and sophomore year with Jay and John, it was just like, they were the best. I feel like I'm still friends with them now. Like, if they showed up at school one day, I'd be like, guys, and you'll go give them a hug and chat with them. Like, that's what an RA is. And I was kind of sad that this year that hasn't really happened. My RA hasn't really talked to us. Like, if I waved at him while walking down the street, I don't think he would recognize me or know who I was. So that kind of stinks. But yeah, I think it would be a really fun adventure to have, and I wish I had more than 1 year. And then I know also my friend Rosie is planning to apply to be an RA, and then my friend Isabel is currently an RA, and she's applying to be an RA again. So hopefully this year I will get it. So I think it's funny every time I tell people that, yeah, I applied for the past 2 years and I didn't get it, and everybody I talk to, whether they go to CI or not, go, how have they not hired you to be an RA? I don't know. That's Channel Island's decision. And, you know, people just go, that's insane. You'd be perfect. And I'm so excited to do the little, like, door decorations and hold floor meetings and just like talk to you guys, like my residents. Like, I want to give you guys just a giant hug. And I'm already sounding like I already got the position, and I won't actually know until like February. I think February is when the application is due, and then I think sometime also in February you find out when the interviews are, and then so I'm hoping really hard that I get the position. But I hope you guys like this video. Please give it a thumbs up for good luck and hoping that I get the position to be an RA. Also, while you're down there, hit that button down below. Subscribe to my YouTube, Confetti Nation. I'll throw as much virtual confetti at you as humanly possible. And also, my social media links are in the doobly-doo below. You guys can follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and Pinterest. And I will see you guys sooner rather than later. So goodbye. I always feel like I sound like I'm sick in these things. Do you guys get that?